Good afternoon, one and all. This is Dr. Himanshu Srivastav from Government Engineering College, Bhavnagar, the coordinator of this online lecture series, Phase 3. I welcome you all on behalf of Principal Professor Dr. M.G. Bhatt sir and entire GC Bhavnagar team. We are very happy to host this. This has been a brainchild of GC Bhavnagar from last two series. The basic idea is simple: to create a hub of knowledge so that students across the state can get the knowledge by just one click. GTU recently has changed the syllabus, and into third semester we have a very nice subject, that is professional communication and ethics. In that we have different units, and out of which today's our lecture is on unit 6, which is called professional ethics. Today with us we have Dr. Wasim Qureshi sir. He is assistant professor in VGEC Chankheda. Sir, we welcome you on behalf of entire GC. I welcome you, sir. uh, to students, let me tell you that he is one of a very nice friend of mine, and I was after him that you have to conduct a session, and he has considered my request. So thanks a lot, sir. Uh, the basic ideology behind this series is very simple. One, we each college has one or two or maximum three lecturer. So why not create a hub of knowledge wherein 18 or 19 lectures, basically 18 lectures are there, and we it is taught. All the lectures are taught by different teachers. So 18 lectures, good lectures taught by 18 eminent personalities of technical education. This is the idea that I had in my mind when I started this series, so that every student is benefited with one of the best that every teacher has. With these notes, let me welcome Wasim sir. Sir, we welcome you. The show is all yours. The students are on YouTube. Let me tell you, if students you have any question, you drop down into the comment box, and I will ask the question on your behalf at the end of the session, where the question answer session will be on. That's it from my side, sir. It's all your show. Professional ethics, Wasim sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Himanshu Srivastav, a good friend of mine and principal DC Bhavnagar. This is Dr. Wasim Qureshi, assistant professor in English from Vishwakarma Government Engineering College, Chankheda, Ahmedabad. My dear friends, you are in SEM 3, and one of the subjects that you study right now is professional communication and ethics. You have already studied one
सर,
subject, that is
कैन आई रिक्वेस्ट यू वन,
yes sir.
आपके किसी भी एक इसमें से आप स्पीकर म्यूट करेंगे, नहीं तो इको आ रहा है खाली के लिए। जहां आप बोल रहे हैं उसके अलावा जो जो जगह से आप प्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं उसका स्पीकर खाली ऑफ करना है सर, इको जनरेट हो रहा है। यस सर, डन।
ठीक है।
यस सर,
I
यस
think
डन।
the echo is not there. Is that okay?
एब्सोल्युटली फाइन सर, एब्सोल्युटली फाइन।
Okay. Chalo, thank you very much. So in semester 2, you studied English for technical communication. Now this is a little bit beyond communication, and in this course, in this particular subject, you have identified, found one subject, one topic, that is ethics. So that is unit 6, professional ethics. And obviously we are going to discuss certain things related to ethics and ethical considerations in our professional life. Before that, I would start with one example from Ahmedabad. Some years back in Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation built one overbridge, and we know it by its name, Hatkeshwar Overbridge. You can just Google, you can find out the details of that bridge. In 2021, when it was almost ready to use, the government was waiting for its inaugural. It was found that it does not follow the criteria of load bearing capacity, and even the concrete crushing started working. And later on, there were a lot of uproar, lot of complaints, lot of problems. It stopped for communicators, sorry, commuters. And later, IIT Roorkee, they found in its compliance report that this bridge is absolutely unfit for use. 42 crore was spent for building this bridge. Later, 5 or 4 crore more were used to demolish this bridge. Now, this is an example why certain things happen in India, certain things happen in our professional life. Ethics is something which is missing out. And here there is a topic which we are going to discuss. I have given some key points which we will focus today in today's lecture. Concept of ethics, importance of ethics in life, principles of ethics, engineering ethics, understanding and resolving ethical dilemmas, and last one will be CSR, corporate social responsibilities. So there is a code by National Society of Professional Engineers. The engineers, in the fulfillment of their professional duties, shall hold paramount the safety, health, and welfare of. If you Google or if you go to ChatGPT and if you ask some detail of Bhopal gas tragedy, one of the worst, one of the world's worst industrial disasters. Again, such disasters, some problems occur even in public life due to some government, non-government organizations, because we means those who are involved into that, those who are stakeholders, those who are responsible for taking decisions, for making something, for designing something, they may trek out from the ethical considerations. And just because of unethical practices, they allow things which are not to be fit to do and to go ahead. And that's why any engineer, they must take care of safety, health, and welfare of the public. Ethics word was taken from an ancient Greek word, ethikos, which means relating to one's character. And character is something which is very, very, essential being a human, right? So it means character, moral nature. This word was transferred into Latin, from Greek to Latin as ethica, and then French as ethic. And from that word, the word has come to English language, and we call it ethics. Why it is needed? So IEEE Code of Ethics, which was implemented in 1990, pledges its members to accept responsibility in making engineering decisions consistent with the safety, health, and welfare of the public. So if you go to these three words, safety, health, and welfare, these are the words which we already discussed in earlier slide. And to disclose promptly factors that might endanger the public or the environment. Now, accept responsibility. That is very important, decision or very important thing in any professional life, right? So we have to take the responsibility in making certain decisions. Here we are talking about engineering field. We are talking about the professional life. That's why IEEE, that belongs to engineering domain, has given the word engineering decisions. So your decision for your life is important. You may be or you must be ethical in taking decisions for your life, because your life may be impactful, may be effective, may be useful for others. But when you take a decision, where as an engineer you have to take a decision, your responsibility is bigger, because ultimately your decision will impact a larger group of people, and that's why this is very important. Ethics is a branch of philosophy dealing with what is morally right or morally wrong. So, ethics is more related to morality. What morally correct or incorrect has to be decided ethically. And when we talk about engineering ethics, your decisions, your moral principles will be taken right, in the light of engineering, because ultimately your decisions are related to engineering field. The study of decisions, policies and values that is morally desirable in engineering practices and research. Suppose you are making a kind of a chemical, solution, and its components must have a particular proportion. Suppose you add one chemical more, because it will cut down the cost. But if that chemical is added more, it may be harmful for its user. What will you do? You are building a bridge, let's say for the government, for a city, for a corporation. Recently, we have got the news that there was a bridge collapsed very recently, in very recent past. So when you're making a bridge, again you want to cut down the cost, you want to give bribe to your higher authority, you want to please your authority by saving some amount. You try to use a low quality material, right? You do not pay attention to certain things which are very much important for making the bridge solid and strong. So if you are taking your decisions which are related to your engineering domain, right, or you are doing some engineering practices or research, you need to take decisions, you need to implement policies, you have to inculcate values which are morally desirable, right? And that's why engineering ethics are very much important. Why they are important in life? It builds personal and professional credibility. So credibility जो है ना वो बहुत important है. Once you are identified as a very credible person in your own let's say company or organization, it will definitely build your growth rate. It promotes social harmony and mutual respect. Once again, when you are ethical, when you follow moral values in your life, in your personal life even, you will have more social harmony and mutual respect. It guides individuals to make morally sound decisions. Your decisions will be acceptable, your decisions will be inclusive, your decisions will be, you know, far reaching, they will be more useful, more advantageous for the stakeholders. It helps in developing a strong and trustworthy character. Again, it is related to your character. One of the characteristics of individual's character is ethical practices in life. है ना, हम जो बोलते हैं या हम जो करते हैं, क्या वो दोनों में सिंक है? Are they syncing with each other? Right? So once you showcase that kind of ethical practices in your personal life, it will definitely develop a kind of a trustworthy character. People will start trusting you कि भाई हिमांशु सर ने बोला तो बस मजा आएगा, ये सब ने बोला that means पत्थर पे लकीर है. So that kind of image, that kind of brand you can make by following ethics. It reduces conflicts and enhances accountability. And आपकी लाइफ में conflicts कम होंगे and accountability आपकी बढ़ेगी. Now there are certain principles of ethics. One of them is autonomy, meaning respect people's right to make their own decisions. You give a kind of autonomy to your stakeholders. You ask them what to do, how to do. And in that way, you give a kind of freedom to your stakeholders, because it is also ethical. When you want to plan something for your friends, you cannot take decision by your own. Ethically, you need to keep them in confidence. You have to ask them, you have to take their priorities, you have to take their consents. So that freedom, choice, respect is given when you are ethical in taking any decision. Beneficence, that means do good things that help others. Obviously, there are certain norms like I win, you win, I lose, you lose, I win, you lose, I lose, you win. Depending on the situation, people behave in certain manner that we exhibit one of these four maxims. The best maxim is I win, you win. मैं भी जीतूं, आप भी जीतो. And for that, we have to take certain decisions, we have to do certain good things that help others. By helping others, obviously, we help ourselves as well, right? So, help, kindness, well being, these things can be there related to beneficence. Non maleficence, that means do not cause. किसी की बुराई न की जाए, no harm, but rather we have to take care and we have to give safety to our stakeholders. Justice, fairness, there is a wonderful word, equality and equity. In one class I had wonderful discussion on those two words, right? So equality is good thing, but equity is far better than equality. And when you give equity, it's a proper justice to people who deserve it, right? So treat everyone fairly and equally, but sometimes being equal is important, but being equitable to all is more important. Then fidelity, you have to be loyal and you must keep your promises. Particularly when you are professional life, it happens that you got to know a personal story from your colleague, and once you go to some other colleague's table, you start speaking of a person in his or her absence, and you just break that promise. So we have to avoid certain situations. Veracity, always tell the truth and be open. That shows honesty, truth, and transparency. When you are truthful, when you are open to discuss, when you are adaptable, right, you show transparency, right? So these are certain principles. Now, when we look at engineering ethics, application of ethical principles in engineering practice, right? So whether you are making a software, a hardware, a machine, a building, a chemical, or whether you are functioning a machine or a tool or an equipment, you need to apply ethical principles in all these things. Along with these machines and software and hardware, you need to deal with human beings, obviously, because you will be working in a company. So there may be some colleagues with you equal to your rank. There may be subordinates working under your guidance. There may be sub higher authorities working higher than your rank. There may be some outer people, like extra organizational group with whom you need to communicate, with whom you need to collaborate, work with them. And for that, you need to apply ethical principles in collaboration, in communication, in any kind of engineering practice. Engineering ethics focuses on safety, sustainability, responsibility, and integrity, right? Words may look little tough, but these are the words which are very important. Safety, safety of all, whoever is going to utilize your product or your service. Sustainability, it should be sustainable. You should be showing responsibility, right? And at the later part of our presentation, we will talk about CSR, corporate social responsibility, and integrity, ईमानदारी, आपकी honesty. So ये, all these things will cover engineering ethics. Engineers must prioritize public welfare over personal or corporate interests. Now, this is the situation where you can be in dilemma. Dilemma is a word we are going to discuss, but it is like to do or not to do. Ye karu ya na karu. If I do not follow my boss, right, there will be harm. Sorry, if I do not follow my boss, right, there will be harm to me, because he will be spoiling my career. There may be some other negative remarks. And if I follow my boss, there may be some problem to the users. So there may be a kind of hazardous situation for public. There may be a danger for public. So what to do? Shall I prioritize public or my boss? So now this is something which we need to understand at this moment when you are in sem 3. In future, when you will be in your professional life, certain situations will occur, and wisely, deliberately, tactfully, you have to tackle certain situations, right? Codes of ethics by professional bodies like IEEE and many other bodies, ICHE or IEI, or there are many, right? They have given a lot of codes of ethics for engineers. Recently, I was taking one GD in my class, group discussion, and I was searching some topics. I found one topic for GD very apt for today's discussion, and that topic says that shall we have oath taking for engineers before they join any job, as we have advocates, nurses, and even judges and ministers. So ministers, judges, nurses, advocates, when they start the career, there is an oath ceremony program. So shall we include oath ceremony? So once you start your job as an engineer anywhere, at any position, you have to take oath that I pledge that I will follow all these engineering ethics. So there was a topic to debate, right? But yes, some engineering professional bodies have given us codes of ethics, and that we can follow.